What makes us humans capable of so much cruelty? And if we had to change the world, where would we even begin? Hello, I'm Sandhya and welcome to Dynamic Living. Today's topic is a somber one. In the last 8 days or so, there have been two events that have occurred on two opposite ends of the globe, but have shaken us up as humanity in a way that very few others have done before. One was the death of a black man as a result of police brutality in the United States. And the other, far more recent and closer home to us in India, was the death of a pregnant elephant. Well, really, neither of these were just deaths in themselves. They were murders by people who seemed incredibly cruel. What could cause policemen to press down on the neck of a man even when he appealed for help, even when he said that he couldn't breathe? And what would cause people to feed a pineapple filled with crackers, explosives, to a pregnant elephant that would cause her unbelievable amounts of pain and eventually her death? This was in Kerala. If you think about it, cruelty brings within us feelings of tremendous fear and revulsion. At our most innate senses, we feel threatened. We would hate for something like that to happen to us or any of our loved ones. And it is that empathy that we show that causes us to feel the pain of a person dying halfway across the globe, or an animal dying in a state far away from us right now. So we've understood empathy. Let's try and understand what's going on in the heads of the people that are capable of this kind of cruelty. I don't know if you've heard about a very famous or infamous experiment called the Stanford Prison Experiment. Now, this study has been critiqued for various reasons, but the basis of it was an experiment in which the experimenter randomly allocated groups of students into jailers or prisoners, and then told them that they had to follow orders and gave them sunglasses as well, which sort of made them look anonymous, but also sort of shielded them from the gaze of the prisoners. And they were all put together in a makeshift prison in the basement of one of the buildings in Stanford. Now, this experiment had to be called off within just a day or two because the prisoners were suddenly resorting to unbelievable acts of cruelty. And when they were asked to describe what was going on with them, many of them were as surprised by their actions as a regular person would have been. These were just normal people capable suddenly of very cruel acts. And going into their mindset, we understood a couple of things. One, that they felt an us and an otherness about the others. We were the jailers, these were the prisoners. There is a difference between us. Number two, they felt they were following orders and therefore didn't feel responsible for their actions. They just believed that as prisoners they had to do things to keep control. But guess what? They actually went beyond these orders. They were capable of cruelties that the designer of the experiment hadn't even envisaged. And the same has been said of Nazi guards as well. They were committing acts of cruelty way beyond any kind of directive from the Third Reich or from Hitler himself. And intuitively, we know this in the world, right? We think of ourselves as us, and we want to keep us safe, and it's only when we perceive an other that could potentially be a threat or is different from us and therefore not capable of feeling the kind of pain that we feel, that we even feel capable of inflicting this kind of pain. Now, it's very easy for us to think of these sort of demons as people very unlike us. But if we have to truly reach the heart of understanding of cruelty, we need to look first within ourselves. We need to see where our limits of identification end. Where do we feel the end of an us, and where do we feel a them? Think about it this way. At its most extreme, any person that you treat any differently than you would yourself or one of your own is somebody you're considering a them. Now, you may not actually inflict an act of cruelty, but the very fact that you're seeing an other there is really the base of this divisiveness. Some of us see animals as living beings, as one of us. Some of us don't. Some of us like to make animals inanimate. I don't want to see where my chicken came from. I don't want to see where my steak came from. And that makes us capable of eating it. The question is that any less cruel? It's us being incapable of seeing the otherness of this living being. Now, I don't mean to trivialize these incidents by comparing the two in any way. For me, the search is always within us. Where are the roots of cruelty within us? Because change can only begin with us. Yes, we must do the correct action, but guess what? Even more powerful than anger is the force of compassion. Compassion not only makes us see the oneness with other things, but compassion can also drive us to take action without wondering about inconvenience or danger to our petty selves. So it's one thing to rant and rave on social media or to talk to your friends about how cruel people in the world are. You will actually be the one stepping out to take that action. And if each of us can ignite the fire of compassion within ourselves, imagine what a force for change we will be in this world. I hope this has given us some hope. Whenever you see cruelty, look within yourself, ignite compassion within yourself. The right action will follow. Thank you for watching.